Hi there and welcome. Today I'm going to tie the Cutthroat Goby, a very proven pattern that works very well for sea trouts, sea run brown trouts. But I imagine that this would be great in rivers as well, where there are small sculpins and stuff like that. First of all, I'm gonna add a bit of weight material here, just a little bit to keep this a bit below the surface, even if you're retrieving it at high velocity. It's a pretty basic pattern, which works fairly well. We're gonna use some grizzly marabou, some whiting coq de lion in dark Prado, some dubbing, and of course some Flytying dubbing in red and in pearl. The Flytying dubbing is really the trick for this fly. So first of all, I'm gonna take some grizzly marabou feathers. These are gonna be the tail of this small fly. Grizzly marabou is a nice material for tails and stuff like that on flies like this. What is one of the strong suits about this fly is it actually it's a very good goby imitation, but also this is just one of those flies that basically just imitates a lot of stuff all at once. This is a goby imitation, but it's just one of those flies that looks like food. So if you're retrieving this at a fairly high pace, this could actually pass as a shrimp or a small crustacean, something like that. It could also pass for any other type of small fish, and this is I think one of the reasons why there is some patterns that just continues to prove themselves times and times again, and that is a lot of the times because these in general can look. It doesn't look like this just one thing, but looks like a lot of different things. So and this is no exception to that rule. So a small tail here. Another example of this could be the woolly-bugger, probably one of the most famous flies of all time for sea trouts, for trouts in throughout the world, and that can look like almost anything. It can be a leech, it can be a small fish, it can be approximately almost anything. So the hook I'm using here is the Gamakatsu, F314. Oh. Now we're gonna need a hackle, and as you can see, these Prado whiting feathers, it just has a tremendously cool look to them, tremendously cool shine also. And this is gonna be the body hackle. So I'm tying this down right there, but I'm tying it down in the tip. Just holding everything back and then tying it down in the tip. This will give me the correct tapering of the body. So I'll have the shortest fiber here down where the tail starts, and then gradually the length of the fibers will increase up toward the head of the fly here. So tie this down, and what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna take some SLF squirrel dubbing, a very nice dubbing with a lot of coarser hairs and stuff like that to provide some more contrast and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna take some Flytying dubbing in pearl, and I'm gonna mix the two. Simply just like this. Just pulling it apart and attaching it back together again while flipping it over all the time. This is a pretty basic way. There is a better, a faster way, but only if you're doing larger amounts of dubbing. You can buy a small coffee grinder, a small I don't know what's that called, a small machine that is actually built for grinding coffee beans into coffee powder, so you can use it in your coffee, of course. But that works very well for mixing dubbing as well. But as you can see now, I've done, and this result here is pretty good. I've made for a lot of flies now, so I'm just gonna gently dub that on there. And when you dub, remember to always move the same way with your fingers. Don't don't rub them back and forth. Back and forth won't get you anywhere. It's very important that you always rub the same way. So like that. Just gonna make sure that this body here is tapering, as you can see here, is tapering. So it has it kind of becomes thicker and thicker towards the head. Like so. I've caught a lot of trouts on this fly. It's one of those patterns that I never leave home without. But it's really a nice fly on the Danish coastline. Made by a Dane. I don't recall his name. But a good fisherman as well. So as you can see there, you have it, but I'm gonna leave a bit up here because here we're gonna have the bleeding head part of this fly is gonna be up here. Basically, now I'm gonna turn the hackle, and what you could have done, which I have forgotten here, but that would potentially increase the the lifetime of this fly is, of course, and I should have done that. You should tie down some ribbing on your next fly, just some monofilament, something like that, to keep everything to make this fly stronger. And as you can see, I'm turning the feather here up here towards the head a bit more to give this fly a bit more thickness, a bit more dense hackle up towards the end here. Like so. Cutting off the feather, just making sure everything is in place. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some blood red, some red Flytying to give this fly a bit of a contrast and a bit of a fixating point for the trouts. So I'm taking some red Flytying here. And then I'm making a small bundle all the way in front here. Making my whip finish. Cutting that off, applying some varnish, which I can't find because my desk is a mess. I'm sorry about that. But basically, there you have it. What I'm gonna do now is just to pull out some of the dubbing using my dubbing brush here to make this a bit more translucent and a bit more lifelike in the water. Transparency is a great thing for flies, and something that is important, I think, very much, because if you look at any of the trout's actual food, none of that is solid, and most of it is kind of see-through. So it's important, I think, to have that take that into account, and also to have that in your flies, to give them that look of that food look. So when sea trouts or brown trouts or wherever actually spot your fly, that it's not just a clump of materials just hanging there, but that it actually looks like something the trout normally eats. It's not perhaps necessary to be completely completely true imitation of something, but what's important is that actually it has this translucence effect and that it looks like food, and well, this one does. The Cutthroat Goby. Very nice pattern. Well, thank you for watching and tuning in. That's all for now. Bye.